Hello and welcome. I'm Relinda Thomas, and I'd like to share with you how you can add strategies to your operational plan and assessment report in Taskstream. First, check out the section. Please remember, when you have checked out a section, you're the only one who can work in that space. When you're done, please make sure to check it back in. At this point, we want to make sure that we have some outcomes, some goals and outcomes that we can apply our strategies to. We can choose Create New Operational Plan. And we'll click OK. Don't worry, if we decide that this doesn't work for us, we can always undo it. When we scroll down, we have the option to Select Set. This means to select a set of unit goals that we would like to apply our strategies to. When we click Select Set, we don't see anything yet. That's because we have a choice at the top. We can create a brand new set, or we can select an existing set of unit goals. Let's choose Select Existing Set. Taskstream will give you a list of any unit goals that you have used in previous years. To make sure that you're using the one that's most relevant, you can click View Set just to get a preview to make sure that these are the unit goals that you want to use. When you're satisfied that those are the ones, just click the button and click Continue. Now we can see that the unit goals that we want to apply our strategies to are listed. To make sure that they're included, we'll have to check the checkbox right next to each one. The fastest way to do it, up at the top, is to click the box that says Include All. When you scroll down, you'll see that all of your unit goals and outcomes have a checkbox next to them. If there are any that you don't want to include, you can simply check them individually and uncheck the boxes that you don't want to include. In this case, they're all relevant, so we'll go ahead and accept and return to plan. Now we see a listing of all of the outcomes. In this case, we're ready to add a new action. In Taskstream, action is the term that's used to describe a strategy. We'll click Add New Action. At this point, Taskstream gives us an option to connect this with a previous finding from a previous year that might have inspired this strategy. Taskstream in this instance is trying to help us by showing how we can close the loop. I'll give you an example. In any strategy, we want to make sure that we're following through on our recommendations for improvement that we made in previous years. Maybe in a previous year, we found that there were issues with the senior recital experience. It's a requirement for our music majors in this learning example for student learning from performing in fine arts, and it represents their knowledge of music history, critical thinking skills, and their performance practice. It may be that the findings from the previous year inspired us to come up with a strategy that can improve students' senior recital experience or improve their preparation for it. Or maybe we want to improve the rubric that's used to measure student performance. If any of these findings inspired us to come up with our current strategy, we can simply check on the box. When we check the box and continue, it will show in the list that this is a finding from a previous year that inspired us to use this strategy. In other words, it's a way of showing that we actually use data to make evidence-based decisions for improvement. The findings that we had in a previous year gave us the data and the information that we needed to come up with a new strategy to try to improve students' outcomes in this area. We can do this with many different strategies. And so occasionally, Taskstream will give you this option. If you choose to skip the option to link findings, don't worry, you can always do it later on. At this point, we can add in the description of our strategy from the title of it. And it's a great idea. Let's say, for instance, if we wanted to revise a rubric, we would start that with an action verb, suggesting that something is going to be done in this strategy. So I wouldn't just put rubric, I would put revise rubric, or I might put revise rubric for senior music recital. Next, we would add in a very brief description of the strategy details, what we're going to do, and it can be one quick sentence talking about how we'll revise the rubric. In most cases, the strategies that we'll implement will be interdepartmental or within our own department, and so we probably won't need to ask for a budget. If we do ask for a budget, please put in the amount, and we can add a priority level. I don't know why a priority for any strategy would ever be low, and so we can certainly put medium at the least or high. The fastest way to add in a strategy is to import action. If you have had any strategies in the past, Taskstream will remember them. And so we can click on Import Action. Let me give you an example of how that would work. Excellent. When we click on Import Action, Taskstream gives us a dialog box that lets us search for any strategies we've used in the past. To see all of them, just click the little checkbox on the right, and you'll see a listing of any strategies that you have used in the past. It's usually a good idea to look for any strategies that have been used in a previous or very recent year. You can click View to preview it, just to take a look at it, or if you're satisfied that that's the one to use, just click the button and choose Copy Selected. As you can see, it has placed in the relevant information already. If you need to make any changes, you can simply type in a few of the changes that you want that would update it for this current year. In this case, this is relevant to the senior recital, but I might put changes to the senior recital rubric, for instance, and I would describe that assessment. When you're ready, you simply click Apply Changes. Thank you, and good luck with Taskstream.